26. Love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18. Most Christians, and many Jews, believe that the Golden Rule was first formulated by Jesus, not realizing that when the founder of Christianity preached, love your neighbor, he was simply quoting the Hebrew Bible. In the 1st century BCE, more than 1,000 years after the Torah was given, a would-be convert asked Hillel, the greatest rabbi of his age, to summarize Judaism briefly, literally, while standing on one foot. Hillel responded with a negative and perhaps more pragmatic version of the biblical verse, "What is hateful unto you, don't do unto your neighbor." The rest is commentary. Now go and study. Shabbat 31a. Implicit in the command to love your neighbor as yourself is the command that we love ourselves. Psychologists often have noted that people who don't like themselves usually have even greater difficulty liking and being good to others. It is hard to imagine, for example, an abusive parent who has a decent self-image. As for those fortunate people who do like themselves, the Baal Shem Tov, the 18th century founder of Hasidism, suggested a guideline on how to carry out this seemingly impossible commandment. He put particular emphasis on the words, as yourself. Just as we love ourselves despite the faults we know we have, so should we love our neighbors despite the faults we see in them. The last words in the verse, I am the Lord, usually are passed over as irrelevant to the commandment. In Jewish thought, however, the rationale for loving our neighbors is precisely because God, who created all of us in His image, demands it. Judaism sees ethics as ultimately dependent on a source above humans, on God. Without God, morality is reduced to a matter of opinion. As Ivan Karamazov mournfully declares in Dostoevsky's The Brothers Karamazov, if there is no God, then everything is permitted. In the Jewish tradition, the verse, love your neighbor, stands on a higher plane than most other commandments. As Rabbi Akiva taught, love your neighbor as yourself. This is the major principle of the Torah. Palestinian Talmud, Nedarim, chapter 9, verse 4.